biggest names to move were starter Chris Archer, who went from Tampa to Pittsburgh, power hitting second baseman Brian Dozier, who went from Minnesota to the Dodgers, Brad Ziegler and Jake Diekman, I hope I pronounced that correctly, who went to Arizona to bolster that bullpen, and Ian Kinsler, who went from the Angels to the Red Sox, not to be confused with reliever Brandon Kinsler,
your guy,
who went from my Nats to Wilbon's Cubs. All right, Wilbon, you were locked in on this all day.
Loved it.
So who were your winners and who were your losers on deadline day?
Loved it. It's too bad that you had so much pain you could not get in on the deadline fury. Because I was into this all day, Tony, and I think it's going to shock you. Other than Arizona picking up those relief pitchers, and they're locked in it, okay, with the Dodgers and the Rockies.
Who did nothing.
Who did nothing? Rockies nothing.
Did nothing.
The Red Sox and the Yankees, Tony. I mean, the Yankees with Happ, Lynn, and Zach Britton.
So you're going back a few days.
I'm including everything.
Okay.
All right? The Red Sox with Kinsler and Eovaldi, and Eovaldi's already pitched. 7 innings, I think 4 hits the other night, gave up really nothing. I don't know what Milwaukee was doing. They needed a starter. They come up with Moustakas and Scope, and they got too many second basemen or third basemen, depending on your way of looking at it. I don't get that. I like the Cubs getting Hamels. Is it enough? We'll get to the Astros in a sooner, because that's chock with drama.
Right.
The Phillies getting your boy Ramos, that makes you angry.
The Buffalo, yeah.
Dodgers,
really
you like Machado and Dozier?
Yeah,
for home run power.
Well, their infield now has the capability of hitting 150 home runs. So my sense
the
of
Pirates
this
got
was
Archer. We didn't think they were in it.
Well, the most interesting thing to me was Troy Archer going to the Pirates, because this is the Pirates saying, we're in this. Chris Archer, I'm sorry. We're in this. We can make a wild card.
3.5 games out of the card.
Without me saying that I like any particular thing more than anything else, what it reminds me of, and it doesn't always in baseball, but this year it does, because so many of the teams that are in play sought to strengthen themselves. This is like, to me, you're driving in a car and all of a sudden you throw it into turbo speed, okay, and you boom like this, and almost all the contenders are betting on themselves.
Yeah.
And the thing about loser before, do you see what the once great Baltimore Orioles have been reduced to?
Either that or they're going to have a great farm system soon. But right now, it looks like nothing. Tony, the Red Sox with Ian Kinsler playing second base there, a pull hitter who could hit him off the wall constantly for doubles. It seems like that.
But everybody
if I had to narrow it down to one addition.
The Cubs improved, the Braves improved, the Phillies improved. Everybody who thinks they're in it, with the exception of Oakland and Seattle, they went forward.
Let's go quickly to the biggest non-trade of the day. Bryce Harper, your boy, is staying right here in Washington.
Good.
The Nationals. GM Mike Rizzo told Chelsea Janes of the Washington Post very early in the day, quote, Bryce Harper's not going anywhere. I believe in this team, close quote. Tony, you do too. The Nats are a game under 500, but only 5.5 back in the NL East behind 2 very unproven teams, the Braves and Phillies. So is Rizzo right to bet on Harper the rest of this season?
I need to address the whole of this. And in the last 24 hours, there were a number of stories that said, in effect, that the Nats were dangling Bryce Harper to see what they could get. I don't believe that.
They were just listening.
I believe that it's incumbent upon anybody in management to take phone calls. Yes. But I don't think they were dangling him, because I think that there are 2 people who appear to me to be untouchable on the Nats right now, other than Scherzer, who's a Hall of Fame pitcher. And that is Harper and Steven Strasburg, because they're essentially homegrown.
What about that youngster you got in the outfield?
Well, Juan Soto, but no, they're not. I'm talking about veteran players, veteran players. If you were to trade Bryce Harper, even if you don't think, and they don't think they can re-sign him, even if you don't think that, you're committing a terrible crime against your fans, and I'm one of those fans. He's the best player the Nats have ever had in their relatively short history. It was so thrilling the way he won that home run derby, and he was so joyful winning that in his own home stadium.
Does it translate into some momentum the rest of the way?
Honestly, Mike, if you're 5.5 games back and you have a great player and 1 great pitcher, Scherzer,
you should be able to.
You can. You can make it up.
Count on Strasburg to go, say,
no,
6-2, 5-2. Can you get
what
8
was the
quality
verb?
starts?
What was the verb? Can you count on? No. If he pitches,
can't do it.
If he pitches, he absolutely is capable of that.